Hey guys, what's up? It's Claire and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a full summarization of my entire college application process. So I'm going to share with you the schools I applied for, the courses that I took, my stats, GPA, SAT scores, etc., my academic honors and awards, and then finally the results. So it's been a really long process, so good work to all of those seniors who finished it, and good luck with choosing your college. Alright, so just a small disclaimer before we start. This video is in no way intended to brag about my stats or to discourage you or to say that this is what you should be doing in high school. It's basically just a little glimpse into my own personal take and my personal experience with the college admissions process. And I really hope it just gives you a better perspective on how it works today. Whether you're just starting high school, finishing high school, graduating high school, or even in college, just remember that college is what you make it to be. So if you're lucky enough to go to one of those top tier schools, congratulations, like I'm sure you deserve it. But even if you don't, that's okay, that's not the end of the world. I would say the process now is definitely way more competitive and way more difficult than it was like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So yeah, so I just hope this video will be helpful in the long run. Alright, so let's get to it. So I'm just gonna read off what I have here. So I applied to a total of 16 schools, 3 early action schools. These include University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, Emory, Johns Hopkins, Vanderbilt, Northwestern, UNC Chapel Hill, U Chicago, Duke, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, Columbia, UPenn, Brown, and Cornell. Okay, so for the courses I took 11 AP courses. I was on the gifted track, and our school goes using the 2-semester format with 7 classes each day. So for 9th grade, I dual enrolled at a special science program, and then that's where I got my biology and environmental science credit. And I also took analytical geometry and advanced algebra, American government civics, orchestra, literature, Spanish 2, visual arts, world geography, and I took AP human geography online. So in 10th grade, I took accelerated pre-calculus, orchestra, AP environmental science, AP European history, AP world history. I took AP physics online, chemistry, and world literature. For 11th grade, I took orchestra, AP calculus BC, AP chemistry, AP US Gov, AP Lang, AP Psych, and AP US history. And for my senior year, I was a full-time dual enrollment student at Georgia Tech. So I literally did not go back to high school at all. So I took English 1101, Middle Eastern Politics, Empirical Methods, Sociology during the fall semester. And then I'm currently taking English 1102, Linear Algebra, Global Development, and Macroeconomics still at Georgia Tech. So I definitely loaded up more on the AP side, but also this like varies from person to person and from school to school because each school has like different formats and different courses anyway. So I think as long as you're doing your best and trying to take the most challenging courses that you can get your hands on, colleges will definitely see that as a plus. Alright, so now for the rankings. So my school has a graduating class of 2020 of around 600 to 700 people. It's a pretty big public high school. So we typically only do class ranks for the top 10 students of each class. So my class rank was number 3. So obviously this has different emphasis for different people. So it really depends on the size of your class and the competitiveness of your class. But for my school at least, I think if you're Val or Sal, you get guaranteed admission to some of the big public state schools, in Georgia at least. Okay, so for GPA, my school is ranked out of a 4.0 scale. Typically, an AP course would count as a 5.0 and a regular class would be a 4.0. So I had an unweighted GPA of 4.0 and then a weighted GPA of 4.48. All right, now for the test scores. So for test scores, I do recommend that you do take these seriously from the very beginning, especially during the summer of your sophomore and junior year. Because if you do work hard, you study hard during that period, you can save a lot of stress, time, and money during your junior year by getting it knocked out on the first try. For PSAT, I took it one time in 10th grade. I got a 1450 out of 1600 with a 700 reading and 750 in math. And then during junior year, I took it again. I got a 1460 with a 720 in reading and 740 in math. This also meant that I qualified for the national merit semifinalists. So for SAT, I took it 2 times, and I never took the ACT because I literally sucked at it. Like all the practice tests, it didn't vibe with me. So in October, I took it once. I got 1480 with a 680 in reading and an 800 in math and a 20 out of 40 for the essay. And then I took it one more time in December, and I got a 1550 with 750 in reading and 800 in math and a 21 out of 24 for my essay. So for some of the colleges, I only sent that one unless they required me to send all of my scores. For SAT subject tests, I didn't really do that well on any of them, but I submitted them anyway. So I don't think your SAT subject test scores factored that much into your college decisions, but I would recommend you taking them because first off, you can use it to make up a different score. So for example, if you got like a 3 on the AP Chem exam, you can take the Chem SAT subject test, and if you do well on that, you can show colleges that like, hey, I actually know the material, but I just kind of messed up during the AP Chem exam. So that's one way you can use it. It doesn't hurt to take these. You don't even have to submit them if you don't want to, but just keep in mind some colleges, they do require some based on certain majors, like maybe biology. So I do recommend that you take these during May or June of the year that you took that class because the information will be fresh in your mind. And if you're already taking the AP exam, for some of those, like you can just knock both of them out at once. For me, I waited like half a year later before taking them, so that's probably why I didn't do that well. So for chemistry, I got a 730 out of 800. For math 2, I got a 720 out of 800, and then for world history, I got a 760. So for AP exams, I took the AP exam for every single AP class that I took. So I got a 5 for BC Calc, I got a 5 for the AB Calc sub-score as well, and I got a 5 for AP Lang, a 5 for US History, a 4 for Chem, a 4 for Psych, a 4 for Gov, a 4 for APES, Environmental Science, a 5 for European History, a 3 in Physics, a 5 in World History, and a 5 in Human Geography. So these scores helped me a lot in getting my core class credits out of the way, but depending on which college you apply to, they may or may not take your scores in the first place, so don't stress out if you end up getting a bad score. Alright, now for the awards and extracurriculars. So a lot of the awards that I got go hand in hand with the extracurriculars that I did, and my focal strength in my application, I think, is writing because I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort trying to build a writing portfolio throughout high school. So that was basically what most of my extracurriculars revolved around. But one of my core activities was writing for the Odyssey, which is basically like an online publishing platform. I interned there for about 3.5 years. And I was initially just a regular creator, so I wrote like an article every Saturday, and I had my editor-in-chief like edit it, review it, and publish it. And then eventually I got like promoted to house leader and then social media director. I got to enter a lot of competitions, and a big chunk of the awards that I got were all writing based. So for awards, I got a silver medal for the National Scholastic Art and Writing Awards with gold in some regions and for photography as well. I got a notable distinction for the International BOCES Ocean Awareness Essay Contest. I got second place for the National Ray Burberry Writing Contest, and I got first place for a Georgia Solicitor's Essay Contest. I also was a finalist for the AFS Project Change Essay Contest, and I was a Governor Honors Program finalist for Communicative Arts. So one of the other fundamental pillars of my application was NISLY-Y. NISLY-Y is basically like a state-funded program that sends like students to host countries to learn the language, and I got to go last summer to Korea for about 6.5 weeks, and I had around 20 other people who joined me in that program. So that experience really shaped my entire application, my essays especially. Like a lot of the short answer questions I wrote about NISLY, and then it kind of inspired me to go more towards the international relations or global economics route. So other academic awards I got were the Coca-Cola Academic Award for my high school, and I was also the highest scholar for social studies, English, and math for my graduating class. Leadership-wise, I was president of Interact Club at my school, which is basically like a community service club that's like open to all people regardless of like GPA. And I was also co-secretary of NHS, and I had several positions in Student Government Association, like treasurer, representative, for about 3 years. I was also our orchestra quartet violinist. I was sometimes first, sometimes second, and I was also a member of the Music Honor Society. Sports-wise, I played volleyball for about 3 years. I was team captain for the tournaments and stuff, but we had a thing where we rotated like among different people, so that was kind of cool. I played piano and violin, and I did a lot of the exams such as ABRSM and Guild auditions, and I also auditioned for All-State for violin as well. But for community service, like other than the volunteer stuff for Beta Club and NHS, one of my big ones was that I volunteered at a local hospital for the summer, and then I was also an ambassador for an aviation summer program at Fernbank, and I also tutored some other students for SAT writing and reading for a couple of summers as well. And now for the college results. So again, I applied to 16 schools. I did make a college reactions video, but it kind of was a flop, so I didn't want to post it. So yeah, I got accepted to quite a few, waitlisted at quite a few, and rejected at quite a few. Okay, so I got accepted at UGA, University of Georgia for early action, got accepted to Georgia Tech, Emory, and UNC Chapel Hill. I was waitlisted at Johns Hopkins, Vanderbilt, Northwestern, U Chicago, and Cornell, and then I was rejected from Duke, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, Columbia, UPenn, and Brown. And yeah, so now we play the waiting game. All right, so that's basically it for my college application journey. As you can see, it's a very randomized process. Like a lot of people who I thought would get in didn't get in, who I didn't expect to also got in. A lot of people got waitlisted too. I'm not sure if that has something to do with the coronavirus situation or not, but regardless of whatever your outcomes are, just remember, like, college is what you make it to be. So even though you may not have gotten into some of those dream schools or any of the top tier ones, you can always use the resources at hand to make your college experience better. And for my application, I did try to convey that I was an academically strong student. I really tried to do as many extracurricular activities as I could writing-wise, and I really wanted to make myself look like a more well-rounded student while also emphasizing that writing aspect. Best of luck to all of you guys who are about to embark on this journey. Maybe it's a few years, maybe it's a few years past, but it was a good time to reflect and really think about what I wanted to, do in life. So, alright, that's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys found that helpful and that you enjoyed a little glimpse into my journey. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave a comment down below, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Hey guys, it's post-editing Claire, and I forgot to mention that this video is inspired by my friend Lordrick's video, which I will put in the description below, so make sure you check that out.